Hello. My name is Lloyd, and this is my voice. So get on board. This is how I'll be talking for the next 7 minutes. Not a voice I put on for comedy, it's genuinely how I speak. Lots of drawbacks, obviously, if you sound like this. I can't rap. If I'm like, oh yeah, I've got lots of hoes in different area codes. Sound like a regional manager for a chain of garden centres. You can't talk dirty with a voice like this? Believe me, I've tried. If I'm like, oh yeah, you're really wet. I just sound like a disinterested lifeguard. So I've been living in Australia now for a few months. I'm enjoying myself. When I first arrived in Australia, I went on holiday to a place called Brunswick Heads, kind of Byron Bay area. I don't know if you're not familiar with Byron Bay. It's a place where a lot of young people go on a spiritual journey to find themselves. And more often than not, find themselves on a come down from MDMA trying to describe a genital rash to a chemist. I went away there with my girlfriend. We had a lovely holiday, and then she fell over in the back garden, and she snapped a ligament in her foot. So we had to go to Byron Bay Hospital. Yeah, I would say hospital is too strong a word. It's not really a hospital, Byron Bay Hospital. It's more a sort of creche for all of the fuckwits that find themselves in Byron Bay. You know the type of people I'm talking about? Like tourists that have dived off a bridge into 6 inches of water. Or hippies that have got entangled in their own dream catchers. Like proper idiots. And I think because they're used to dealing with sexually transmitted diseases in Byron Bay Hospital, this snapped foot ligament really threw him for 6. We're in the waiting room of the hospital for about 4 or 5 hours waiting for her to see a doctor. And this young boy comes up to me, right? He's about 19 maybe. He's got like a sideways baseball cap on. His name was Cody, or possibly Codeine. After what his mother was mixing with alcohol while she was pregnant with him. He had like a bandage like wrapped around his knee, and he comes up to me, he goes, "Hey bro!" I was like, "Hello." He goes, "Hey bro, have you ever seen a knee like this before?" And then started unwrapping the bandage. Yeah. I was like, there is no way, right? The question, "Hey bro, have you ever seen a knee like this before?" is about to end positively for me. He's not going to take off the bandage and reveal like the world's sexiest knee. He's not going to take off the bandage. There's going to be a little face in the knee that then asks me 3 riddles. He was like, "Look at my knee, it's fucked up." I was like, "You're right, Cody, it is." I was like, "I hope you're aware, Cordy, this is merely the waiting room of the hospital. I am not a medical professional." He goes, "Look at my knee, look, the bone is sticking out of it." Yeah. I was like, "Hey, Cordy," I was like, "look at my knee." I was like, the bone is sticking out of that as well. That's just how knees work. I was like, "Look, I'll demonstrate. This bit here, right, where the bone isn't sticking out, that's the leg zone. Then when the bone starts sticking out, you're in knee territory. Then when the bone stops sticking out, back in the leg zone." I'm having to explain basic anatomy to this fool. He's just like talking to me, like, and I was like, all right, I got to ask him a question. I was like, "How did you injure your knee then?" He goes, "Oh, I had a few beers. I went out on a boat with some friends, right? And I decided like I would jump into the sea. I was like, oh, and let me guess, you hadn't looked over the side of the boat first and there were like submerged rocks in the water or something? He goes, no. He goes, I hit my knee on the boat. I was like, let me get this straight, right? You jumped off a boat into the sea and missed the sea. You had 360 degrees of sea-based opportunity. All you had to do was go forward in any direction. We had a nice holiday. Well, I say we had a nice holiday. Like, we stayed in an Airbnb. And, like, I remember when Airbnbs first came out and everyone was really excited. But, like, I'm slightly more jaded now, you know, having stayed in some bad ones. I actually think they should rename Airbnb Finding Out What Other People Think Is Acceptable to Use as a Curtain. This was a fucking bad one, you know. I was like, you may as well have just put a spider's web up there for all the UV protection I'm getting. Like, the whole joint is flooded with sunlight at 5 a.m. Are you worried about vampires hiring this place out? I was like, I can't sleep, like, and the owner goes, well, you know, some people like to be woken up by natural light. I was like, I own an alarm clock, you crazy bastard. The other thing is, right, one of the benefits of a fully functioning curtain is that it's adjustable. So if I want to be woken up by natural light and I have a curtain, I merely part the curtain. However, this handkerchief you've got up here, that's offering me nothing whatsoever. You know, unless the mosquito in the room suddenly develops a runny nose. I'm so jaded now when I go into an Airbnb, first thing I do is look in the cutlery drawer, and this one was a bad one. Yeah, I was like, do I win a prize if I find 2 items that match? The whole kitchen looked like it had been stalked by a serial killer that had taken 1 item from each victim. You know when it makes no sense whatsoever? Like the pepper grinder, right? Was about 12 inches long, restaurant grade Italian pepper grinder. The salt, however, just in an egg cup. I'm like, you are sending out mixed messages here. When I'm holding the pepper grinder, I'm like, I'm king of the kitchen. When I'm holding the salt in the egg cup, I'm like, I'm back in a house chair, hiding my seasonings from my flatmates. I've had a bad time in accommodation. I was doing some shows in the United Kingdom, and normally for these shows in the United Kingdom, they put you up in what I would call like a sexy hotel. Do you know what I mean by a sexy hotel? Oh, there's like velvet and shadows. You know, if you're gonna go away for like a dirty weekend away with someone, like you're properly gonna like throw each other around for 48 hours. In a sexual way, not like wrestling. One of them hotels, you know, you take them to impress them with the textures. And the darkness. On the day of the gig, they were like, there's been a change of plan. You're not in the sexy hotel anymore. We put you in a different hotel. It's called the Britannia. And I was like, okay. So I Googled Britannia Hotel Birmingham, and all of the responses are like, why haven't the council shut this fucking place down? I'm like, it's going to be a slightly different vibe here. I go to check in, right, at 1 o'clock, but my room isn't ready. I think it was still busy. They were still photographing the previous occupant. Scrubbing the chalk outline out of the carpet. And genuinely, the receptionist in the hotel, she goes to me, your room's not going to be ready until 2 o'clock. Why don't you just fuck off for an hour? The receptionist. I kill an hour, right, and I come back. I'm trying to check into the room, right, and I'm not paying for the room, but when I have to sign for the card, I can see how much the room costs. One night, right, in the Britannia Hotel, Birmingham, £35. It's about $70, right, one night. Also, I noticed a sign behind the receptionist's head on a wall that said, if you piss the bed, it's £40. She said to me, you got any questions? I said, yeah, I got one very pressing question. See that sign behind your head? She goes, yeah. I said, is it like an extra £40? Or is it just £5 extra? Because if it's £5 extra, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to treat myself. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been delightful. Thank you very much for listening to me. I will not answer, please.